Hello, welcome to the final of the Notched Buckler playoffs. So the Notched Buckler is the playoffs that we have for the bottom four teams each season in our Dented Shield League. That was my team, Sekresh Whirlers for Underworld, playing against Necromantic. So this is 5th place, 6th respectively from the league standings. Both won the semi-finals. Now meet in the final because it's a knockout competition and that's how they work. So I won the toss and chose to kick against the Necromantic, who are just setting up here. Let's have a look through this team. So danger players, werewolves are always going to be danger players. So we've got one with dodge and block, one with block and tackle. There's a ghoul back here who's unleveled, so just with dodge. 2 flesh golems, one with mighty blow. 2 whites, one with tackle. There's a guard zombie and a block zombie here. I think there's a block zombie on the bench who probably is going to come in for one of these others. Maybe? No, it doesn't. So, block zombie on the bench. Excuse me. So I have 2 blitzers, one with tackle, who just picked that up last game. And then one with mighty blow and claw, who's kind of supposed to be the big hitter. Hasn't really worked out in practice that way yet. A couple of unleveled goblins, so quite a short kick. She landed on that 2 heads goblin who didn't catch it. Throwers are back here for ball retrieval, but now going to have to come forwards. There's an unleveled one there and a block accurate thrower who also has a niggly injury. Big-hand goblin over here for retrieving the ball from tight spots. An agility 4 goblin, 1 unleveled, 2 unleveled, scaling lineman, and a guard troll. That's how we line up. So I'm set up looking at this being my first hit, and then get rid of the guard as well, and then I should have 3 dice with my troll on a zombie. That was the idea there. Want to make sure the ball is well protected before I throw any dice. Planning on the other thrower back here, trying to pick the ball up, so I'm going to leave that for a bit because it's a bit of a riskier move than these 2 dice blocks with block players. It's a nice early knockout for the tackle blitzer, who had quite a good game for knockouts, it turned out. Grab 3 dice block with the troll, just to push back, but if I follow up I get 2 dice with this goblin afterwards as well. And lineman getting involved with a successful block. It's quite a solid start. All these making that blitz with that last zombie there, just so I can move the goblin afterwards. There was no other sort of easy targets here to get 2 dice blocks on, and I didn't want to overextend myself and get players trapped forwards. So I grabbed the ball, quick pass to the agility 4 goblin, which is a nice safe catch. And then look at protecting the ball there. Yeah, not really sure what I was doing here. Maybe surrounding those goblins. See if I can press the sort of numbers advantage that I've created with that early knockout a bit more. But it does leave me a sort of obvious blitz target for this werewolf. That's a knockout straight back already, so it's 10 plays 10 already. And have a tackle player marking my 2 heads goblin, which is not what I really like. Could do without that. So a couple of dangerous players back here, sort of preventing me making too much of a break for it. But I'm looking to pick my flank now, I think. And that was having to chuck a load of reroll early on. I was only really needed a pushback to try and move my 2 heads goblin. I was just trying to move him away from tackle players a bit, so it's only 1 dodge out to make from those. So claw getting me a stun there. I think since he's picked up the claw and mighty blow combination, he's only knocked out 1 player in TheMonsterMash. Oh no, he did injure a halfling last game. But yeah, hasn't quite had the impact I'd hoped for yet. So I'm going to be putting the ball over here to protect it. I just want a bit of a threat down here as well, so that the Necromantic can't ignore my right flank. And then, yeah, moving away, that's away from the tackle wolf, though I actually thought the white had tackle there, because the way those icons were sort of spilling over, I thought it was on the white. But it turned out he successfully got away from the wolf and then away from the white with the reroll from dodge. So a gap made to the ball carrier there. And that's a marker on the ball with tackle. It's my agility 4 goblin, who I'd like to score with because he's on 13 points, but if he can't, I'll have to look elsewhere. So the troll is down, also has no teammate next to him for really stupid next turn. And this route forward quite shut off. There's a bit of a gap here though. So I was looking at this thrower being unmarked gives me a handoff route out, and then this lineman being unmarked over here with all this space to run into. Is somewhere I can move the ball to make it a bit safer this turn. So there I was looking for an assist for my big blitzer, although it's just a pushback. But yeah, whites and flesh golems, who I'm really looking to be hitting with that guy. Do come around and make that handoff to the thrower. And I think looking at a pass over there as well. There are walls that can reach still, or at least one of them could, I think. So 1 dice on the ball was an option, but I think it was safer than I could have made it up here. That's the tackle blitzer with that blitz there. It gives me 2 dice to ghoul as well. Yeah, just putting that tackle zone on the wolf makes it a bit harder, because I think well, he forced a dodge to that one, which I'm not getting all the squares up. See if we can get them now. See if we can wait for them. I don't think it's going to make me count them. So what I was looking at was it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and a go for it. For 1 dice on this guy, and the wolf has block. And so getting a tackle zone on this wolf was quite important, because this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2 go for it's just to get a tackle zone on, unless it wants to dodge past this thrower as well. I think 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, it's 2 go for it's either way. So yeah, wanted to come in, make sure that wolf was marked to make it just that bit riskier. So this one coming to mark the thrower, and I think we're going to see 2 dice on the troll again. Just stood up on the move last turn to mark some more players, but yeah, he's knocked down by that flesh column. And so that is a failed dodge on the reroll as well. Yeah, double 1 coming up there. So yeah, getting that tackle zone on to try and keep the ball safe was very important, as it turned out. So that's just an assist again. Mighty Blow Claw blitzer on the white, but again just a pushback. Here, just want to make sure if any of my blocks go wrong, this wolf's going to have a harder time getting out. So stun on the white, and I think I was looking at assist here. Just needed to go for it, which has failed. Failing to go for it is how this thrower picked up a niggling injury. It's worth remembering. But yeah, going to go for tackle blitzer on the ghoul, and tackle was needed to get the knockdown. For another stun. Troll was stunned last turn as well, I missed that. And this is a really risky block to throw when I've already used a reroll this turn. Probably shouldn't have done that. Especially when you're fishing for a straight up power to be any sort of success. But was safe and run in. So first game for that Skaven lineman, and he's managed to score. And we're one up quite early, so dangerous because that gives my opponent a 2-1 grind option, making it 1-1 by half time and then attacking for the second half. But because I've historically struggled to score touchdowns with this team, I'm sure I've said before, I like to just sort of get on with it and score. And I enjoy defending more. So now it's down to Necromantic in 5 turns to try and equalise. So extra reroll for the Necromantic, and kick pretty in the middle of the pitch where I aimed it. Yeah, so grabbing 3 dice on the goblin, but still just to push back. What next? Oh yeah, I think there's a bit of overlapping around here to use zombies to engage some of my players here. There were two knocked out zombies, a block and a guard one. Both knocked out. I had a block, knocked out lineman that didn't come back, so it was a double skulls. There were quite a few of those for Necromantic in this game. And watching over here. So I'm going to need to use another player to try and get 2 dice on the white from my blitzer there. And that is fail pickup. Double skulls used up the reroll earlier in the half turn. And here that ball's fairly reachable for me. Certainly I can get near it anyway and definitely put pressure on the ball, which is what I'll be looking to do in this turn. Looking there, using that lineman, so I want to free up this thrower to be able to move. I think I was initially looking at sort of the big hitting blitzer on the flesh golem as where my blitzer was going to be, but I decided in the end to go for the wolf who's nearer the ball. And got that goblin over there for the assist. Again, just to push back, a bit of a pushback specialist this guy's become. Here, I think this thrower can get a tackle zone on the ball. Yeah, with a go for it. Too many dodges there. But yeah, have got right up in the Necromantic face. There's 4 players, 5 in their half, or 6 in their half, and 4 of them pretty close to the ball. So it's where they're they're going to have to come back and deal with that. And while they're attacking, they should really be going the other way. Well, obviously they're going to want to, but it's sort of the benefit of why I've gone so far forward, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So it's a big hand goblin pinned against the touchline there. Does have a couple of 3+ dodges to get out of trouble. But yeah, the big hand is what I might want over here where the ball is, because it ignores all the negative modifiers on it. The Necromantic just stopping with these three tackle zones on the ball. Blitz on the wolf. Finally a knockdown. But no armor break. So trial knockdown on the fresh golem. Again, no armor break. Oh no, it's a stun. And that's the big hand goblin going for the ball. I do have this throw available for handoff who can reach the end zone as well. And that worked out quite nicely. So yeah, 2 go for it's pick up and a handoff, 2+, 2+, 3+, 3+, as well as 2 dodges earlier as well. So a lot of dice thrown at that play, and it kind of unreasonably came off. Probably should have been able to have that one. Just going to run the percentages. So we've got dodge is the only skill I got. So 3+, 3+ dodge. Then we've got 2 go for it. Then we've got pick up 3+. Change player. 3+ catch. Yeah, so 22.9% play that was to get that second touchdown in. Get a blitz as well. I don't know what percentage chance of that is, but that's just pouring more misery on. Things were starting to feel very unreasonable at this point on my opponent. Because with 2 turns and this free one as well, I could go for a third in this half. And it's just sort of one of those games where everything I was trying was coming off. Like that play for the second touchdown, 22.8%, as we just discovered. 47 with a reroll. I didn't use a reroll. But yeah, it just felt like for long periods of this game that everything I was trying was coming off, and everything my opponent tried didn't. And I've definitely been on both sides of those games before, and know how frustrating it is on the other side. But yeah, this is 2 go for it to get underneath the ball, and it's a 4+ catch, which worked as well. It was just one of those phases of the game where just everything was coming off. There's a knocked out goblin. Which has not really been enough of in this game. It has been a really common feature of my games, goblins being knocked out and injured, and even be really short of players, but not really happened in this one. Just that one injury there. All the knockouts did come back at the last kickoff. So there's a scaling lineman and 2 zombies. The block and guard zombies were back for this drive. But again, it's much like a couple of turns ago. It's Necromantic's attacking drive, and I've got loads of players in their half and closer to the ball than they are. Do have 2 dice on the ball here though, which is successful. But Claw not doing anything there. Wolf gets a pick up. So where I wanted to address this was it's the player best suited here in this block dodge wolf is the tackle blitzer who's laying down next to him. But this ghoul has an assist, so I want 2 assists on the wolf. But I didn't really want to use either of these because if the ball was not in a tackle zone, if I managed to get the knockdown, I want my thrower to pick it up. If it is in a tackle zone, I want my big hand goblin to pick it up. But I had to use one of them to get the assist because this one was go for it, and I thought it was not as worth doing that. So it was more likely it'd end up in a tackle zone, so went for the throw for the assist. So that's my 2 assists to the 1 from the ghoul. So I reroll that one, get the knockdown again. The ball does land over here, so I would have wanted my thrower to go get it really. First foul really stupid we've had. It's going to be taking a swing at the flesh column. So go for it with the goblin. He manages to get the ball, but fails to go for it. And I used a reroll on the blitz on the ball carrier. So Ghoul the best chance of retrieving the ball for them probably, because I think everyone else is marked up. Tackle Wolf bringing down that goblin, but for no armor break. And making the 2 dice blocks down here. Flesh column there. Just to push. Troll doesn't have a tackle zone this turn, of course. So this flesh column could move away wherever he wants. This is also, I think Necromantic really had anyone who could have done it because they had to sort of come back and deal with this, but this is their last turn to get someone in scoring range before half time. I think maybe this white might have been the only one who could have done it, but it would have meant that using their blitz there. Actually, I hadn't blitzed anywhere else, so could maybe have got that white forwards, or tried to. I do have this zombie available to blitz, so no, it hasn't blitzed either. So I think here I was looking at, I think I ideally wanted this goblin to get in the end zone, try and get the ball to him, but everyone else I was looking at, like, because this wolf had tackle being the main reason I didn't want to throw my 2 heads goblin around it. But this goblin ended up being best one for putting the assist down. Now I was going to have to dodge away this blitzer to hit the ghoul, tackle 1. I think, or was it this one I was going with? I think it was this one I went with in the end. But all 3 of these games we're going to have to dodge at some point anyway. I think this one to get in the end zone, this one to make the blitz, this one to make the throw. Load of dice rolls, and this one needed to go for it to get in there as well. So make that dodge. Get the ball down with a power for a knockout as well. Nice friendly bounce. Coming back, blitzer into the end zone, but fails to go for it. Yeah, so would still have needed to dodge this throw around here, pick the ball up, another dodge in there, pick the ball up, and then make that throw. So it was a long shot getting that touchdown in, and I didn't deserve another one like that. Another double skulls, roll to a pushback. It's better than the other way around, but it's still disappointing. A couple of dice there. And I think piling up some assists to get 2 dice block from this wolf on the troll. And this would be 2 dice into 1, so second one would have been a 1 dice block, but got it down the first time of asking anyway. And that's half time. So I'm really surprised to find myself 2-0 up there, and probably didn't really deserve it. On the percentages at least. So set up for another defence. Exactly the same for me. Opponent, I think, takes the same approach to attacking. And another, so throw a rock, this time targeting this flesh golem. Worth noting as well, the Necromantic had Fame, but rolled a 1-6 for the throw a rock. So as one of my fans who got rowdy. Flesh golem does regenerate a missing next game injury. He's one silver lining, but he's still missing for this drive, so it doesn't help now. Yeah, they're very little from the line of scrimmage blocks. So good going to retrieve the ball. Needs to make sure they pick up this time. Scattering off the pitch would have been pretty bad with my move next. But do make a throw, and a ball can get the ball forwards. So right across, guard that corner, successful in the reroll. No blitz thrown this turn from the Necromantic team. And a wolf out forwards here, who could score next turn, so is my likely blitz target, is also isolated. Tackles blitzer back here in case he's needed later. Big hand over here towards the ball. Want him as near the ball as possible, in case he's needed later. And yeah, then this is my blitz target. So drop down. Just a stun. That was, yeah, it was to get 2 dice for this zombie. Ideally you've liked 3 dice for my troll, but I couldn't get it there. But yeah, 2 dice with another goblin now. Just to push back. So this sort of looks like potentially a tempting target, this gap here, this space. This zombie is demonstrating. Yeah, some more disappointing block dice. Some of those rolled every turn really. Keeping a couple of powers there though. Looking to get forwards. That's second turn in a row. There's been a fail, go for it, but reroll was used before that one on the block over there somewhere. That does leave me 2 dice on the ball, so 2 heads goblin over for the assist. Might use the tackle 1 because this wolf has dodge. Does mean to go for it, but that's successful. Double skulls is no good, and then push back is all I get off the reroll. And then both down from the troll. Double both down on the guard zombie for turnover. So wolf up there, and then blitz from the white. Doing it that way around does leave the wolf on the touchline. bringing the other wolf in here and grabbing that knockdown. Okay, let's leave that zombie until this goblin was dealt with. Then it could use its other point of movement to go elsewhere. Let's come in and mark there. So I was looking at 2 dice on the ball from this one, so I need that assist, which is this thrower coming in here, and I'm going to need to cancel this zombies one. It's a tackle white here, so using these goblins is not that appealing. Can't remember what I did. This was only earlier this evening. What did I do here? I think I used the thrower for this other assist. Nope, I put that back there. What did I do here? Did I push the goblin away? The white away? Oh, it just went for the dodge anyway. I suppose I was prepared to use a team reroll for it if I needed to. And then do get a power on that blitz. Grab a knockout on the wolf. In there, it's 2 dice on the white, just to push back though. Gives me 2 tackle zones on the ball. Do have my big hand goblin here, come and go for a pickup. Fails that dodge. It's the tackle white, it's for a team reroll. But Dave copped it for that, so failed dodge, death. Used my apothecary for it, and then nervously waited to see if a more valuable player was going to take a bad injury or a death later in the game. Sort of disappointed to be using my apothecary on a goblin. Against the Norse a couple of games ago, I had an unlevelled goblin die who I didn't use the apothecary on, then didn't need the apothecary at all. So when the big hand one went, I thought I'll give it a go, because if I don't use it, it'll be annoying. Yeah. But there we go, so apothecary down, but goblin back on the bench, big hand goblin. He was instrumental in that second touchdown, so it'd be a shame to let him go. So the ghoul who was retrieved the ball through the pass had been, I think, left behind by turnovers up until that point, or just forgotten about maybe, I can't remember. So I'm looking at, I think, 2 dice on the fresh golem for my blitz, and trying to get an assist on this zombie for my big hitting blitzer. 2 dice on the white gives me a follow up onto the ball. Another knockout as well, so I think that's that same blitzer I think has picked up 3 knockouts now in the game. No, this one got the wolf last turn, but yeah, this blitzer's doing well for knockouts in this one. And there's the assist on this zombie. Now I have a break. And knock down on the white. And that does give me a chance to move that goblin a bit safer, to leave the white surrounded. White was already basically surrounded by the same players, but I moved away from that zombie anyway. And there is an injury. James will be pleased to see that one. He's the halfling coach in the league. So let's throw it back over there, so it's just moving about, putting assists down on blocks, and then get a knockdown on flesh golem, which frees up this lineman to take out these 2 assists. This goblin can assist here for 2 dice on the ball. So reroll, get the knockdown. Quite happy for it to scatter out of play here. And over here is a very nice scout for me. Only zombies who can reach it for the Necromantic. It's a really stupid fail. So having to instead use this lineman to clear the white away. And this this goblin can go grab the ball. Doesn't have anywhere safe to go. Would have needs to throw some go for it to get out of range of these zombies. I thought I'd just chuck it up the pitch and then race the opponents to it. And we'll see who can get there first. This ghoul's going to have a good head start. But I'll be chasing it down as well. So ghoul is free to go move away. Because this werewolf is down here, the other one's knocked out, that does give me a significant speed advantage, with all my Skaven being the same speed as the ghoul. So blitz on that goblin to chuck the ball away, just to push back. So using my bulldozer blitzer, but again just to push back on the stand firm target. Using block on the thrower there means I can move this blitzer and this goblin away up here. The wolf will be free to give chase next turn, but I've got tackle on the ghoul. So I can come around there as well and sort of block off the wolf's path a little bit. Or a push back there, that gives me another spare lineman. Who's going to mark this zombie? Yeah, while this goblin goes forwards. But fails to dodge, takes an injury. So I think that's two casualties I've given myself through some dodges. One was the death that was apothecaried back here, and that one was the other goblin was inflicted by the opponents. And I think that was a accidental 1 dice block, which is a mutual badly hurt. Zombie regenerated. The lineman has no such option. But that is a quick turnover before this ghoul could have a go at the ball as well. So I think I'm looking at this blitzer as a good scoring candidate, so want to get an assist and then blitz the ghoul, go grab the ball, score next turn is the idea from here. So throw puts the assist down. Throw will be a good scoring candidate as well. Stand on the ball there. Get the knockdown. And the stun I don't need to panic about scoring this turn, so if I drop this I could have saved my reroll. But use it anyway and run that forwards. Interesting enough for 6. Yeah, thrower could have picked up the ball, 3 on a reroll and run it in with no go for it. Next turn. So did have that option, and he would have levelled if he'd scored. Probably should have done that. Knockdown on the troll. And late game foul on poor Barry. He's hardly done anything to the opponents. Just tickled them a few times. But I can get 3 dice on this wolf with my big blitzer, so we'll go for that. I wouldn't want to risk anything less than a 3 dice block with a block player with no rerolls and a chance to score. So just go for that. But that is both down or push back was the other option. And then running third right at the end, which I believe ends the game because I went second, didn't I? Yeah, that was the lot. Yeah, so like I was saying, one of those games which I think we've all had, where everything you try goes wrong, everything the opponent tries works. Yeah, and that was how they can go. It's a really swingy game like that can just pivot on some dice rolls. You sort of feel like you're doing everything right, and it doesn't work for you. There was quite a quick game as well. We were done that in I think just over an hour. Don't need the leaderboard for less competition. I was looking at stats, so fairly even. You can sort of see it's fairly even on, relatively on blocks succeeded. Necromantic did more, but I kind of got more return for it with more knockouts. It didn't sort of feel like the numbers were that telling that much in that game. There was so much of it swung on the or hinged on dice rolls in that one. It was it was difficult to tell if that was that significant. Decent amount of points for both teams. I think one zombie levelled, the one with the both down quite near the end where both of them got badly hurt. I think that zombie levelled. Zombie. No levels on my team. Yeah, and I imagine a lot of these ones were in armour and injury rolls, which are on my players, of course. Yeah, it's a really good success rate for armour rolls for armour value 7, for a mostly armour value 7 team. So I imagine a lot of the ones were in that. Yeah, sort of the rare things that came up. It was just like so much was going my way in this. A lot of failed dodges, but not that many significantly failed, like re-rolled and succeeded. Let's go for it. That's a lot of go for it. So I think I was, in those positions. Like with the second touchdown, there were some go for it's needed. The trying to get under the ball for the blitz, there are a couple there. So that's a lot more go for it. So I'd usually like to be rolling. And actually, it's pretty low on success rate. And there were, was it 2? No, it was dodges. It was failed dodges. There were casualties on. But playing much more carefully, and that's failing 2 of 6 rather than the 1 of 6 you'd expect and go for it. I think they were in 2 consecutive turns as well. Pickup rolls, that crucial pickup roll that led to the second touchdown was a big failure. I think that was both of the failures actually as well, because was it re-rolled? No, I think it just couldn't be re-rolled. I think it was an early one re-rolled, and then that one couldn't be. So that was the 2 fails there. Regeneration did well. Not that many dodges made, and that was 1 dodge attempt actually as well to try and stop the first touchdown. So kind of doing everything right really, but being let down by important rolls as they came up, and that's how the game can go. But that's our final score. So that is the positions confirmed for 5th and 6th anyway. Let's go back to the actual league. Because the third place playoff for this hasn't been played yet. I think they're playing tomorrow night. That's Norse against Halflings. This Norse team against this Halfling team. So that's not much in inducements. I think we will see no Halfling Master Chef. Certainly no Deep Root Strong Branch this week. But they're playing to decide 7th and 8th place. 5th and 6th have gone as we finished in the regular season. And we've had so far just one of these semi-finals from the top 4. So it's Kerstorf against Norse. I still don't know when the Khemri Lizardman game is going to happen. That should actually have been sometime last week, but it hasn't happened yet. So we're hanging on for that, and then the winners play Kerstorf in the final to decide final standings there. Norse will be playing against the losers to decide 3rd and 4th place. So it's starting to come together. At the moment, nobody's changed position, and certainly these 2 are confirmed to be there. So I think it'll be Khemri Lizardmen will probably be the next game in this playlist, and we will see you then.